Okay, I know there's a better story, and not a better, but just as good story about how the name Pilot came to be.
When I decided to go in business myself, I had a lawyer here in town, and we wanted a name that was short. A big reason being the fewer letters, the cheaper the signs would be. So, so I sent in Jet, J-E-T, and Jets were first coming on. That seemed like a really good name to me. So I had stopped at a payphone booth over there to get my calls at the office, and one of the calls was from the lawyer who was doing this. He said, "Jim, I'm sorry, but Conoco Oil Company has Jet." He said, "You have any other ideas?" "Well, I'm at a payphone booth in Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm looking out the window. There's a big life insurance company over there called Pilot." I said, "Try Pilot." He said, "I'll try it." Well, 3 days later, he called me back, and we had Pilot. So our focus group was a person standing in a payphone booth.
And 65 years later, Pilot, it still reigns supreme, no doubt about it.
And so I always liked phone booths.
And they're hard to come by now.
No more phone booths.
They are gone. So after 65 years and looking back, what was your biggest struggle? What were your biggest challenges in building this phenomenal company?
Well, to build a company like this, you have to keep on getting more locations and more people. And I spent the first 10 years always looking for locations and looking for money. Quite frankly, it was hard to borrow money and everything. And then one day I said, you know, what we really need to do is get better people, and we started looking for better people. Then in 1965, which was 7 years after we started, we made a deal with Marathon Oil Company, sold them half a Pilot, and they loaned us then, which is a tremendous amount of money, $2.5 million, because you could build a location for $40,000 or $50,000. So that got us going on all, kicked us off, and got us money. So the most difficult thing was getting money and getting people. It's easier to get the money and to find locations, to find good people. It's interesting. I'd been in business about 10 years, I guess. My mother was living in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I was coming home, and that's when you had open seating on plane. And there was a man that's been in, his name was Jack Puryear, and he'd been a Southeastern Conference football official. And I sat down by him, we talked about football, and he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I started this business." He said, "Well, somebody told me you hadn't." He said, "I bet you're taking what you learned from General Neyland and making it apply in business." I said, "Yeah, it's exactly what I'm doing." "What do you do in football?" "You go out and get the best players. Then you put them in best positions. Guy might be a running back in college, he's a linebacker. In high school, a linebacker in college. Then you practice and you train them. Then you have an overall game plan and you perform on Saturday." So we have to go out and get the best people who work in the stores. We have to train them. We have to we have to put them in the right place. We have to have an overall game plan, and we have to perform 24/7. So it's no different than football.
A nod to General Neyland, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think those are maxims that you can apply
that's right.
just to life in general, but certainly it paid off.
Yeah, I mean, his game maxims, the team that makes the fewest mistakes wins in business. And one thing, it's really interesting, when you think about that, he's not saying you can't make mistakes. Because if you don't make mistakes, you aren't doing anything.
You're just standing still.
Yeah.
And
So
you gotta
what
move
he says is, hey, yeah, we're going to fumble the ball, but we're going to fumble less than the other team. So fewest mistakes, and that's true in anything you do. If you're you're going to make mistakes.
A lot, a lot.
But you have to make fewer than the other people, or you'll be looking for another place to work. It's that simple.
Absolutely.
But you can't be afraid to make a mistake, and we learned that in football.
You're not moving if you don't.
No, you aren't doing anything.
Absolutely.